Alright, welcome back to Comic History, episode number 87. This I'm talking about Lex Luthor, but not everything related to him, just his live action version of the character. Main reason why, because one of his actors recently passed away, Gene Hackman. He played one of these versions, I'll talk about it. There's a couple I'm not going to discuss here per se. One of which is the original actor who portrayed him, Lyle Tobot, who portrayed him in The Atom Man vs. Superman. I have not seen this movie yet. It's a serial, but yeah, I haven't seen this, so I'm not really going to talk about it. First one I'm going to talk about is going to be, well, Gene Hackman's portrayal of Lex Luthor from Superman 1, 2, and 4. Yeah. First in the movie, of course, saw Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, Christopher Reeve as Superman, Margaret Kidder as Lois Lane, and Marlon Brando as Jor-El, which I heard he got paid a big paycheck for this movie for like one scene he appeared in. Yeah, Lex's movie is, from what I can tell, based upon how he was portrayed in the Earth 1 version of the character, where he's just a criminal genius, though he's hiding in the sewer a lot of the movie. And the Superman finds him and follows his plan to blow up New Jersey and California. Actually, blow up California off the coast and make it Lexland. I'm like, Lex Luthor. And by the way, he's not going to be Baldy in the movie. I know I'm spoiling the ending, but the movie's been out for over 40 years, so I can spoil if I want to. And then you have the sequel, where he is basically a support antagonist, not the main antagonist per se, where he's actually working with the film's action antagonist, General Zod, and basically this is the movie that has famous meme, "Kneel before Zod." Yes, this movie started that meme, and the fact that the Zod critic basically decided to portray him in his version of Man of Steel, and also end up in the movie Boldly Flee. It's like, hey, I surrender. Hey, can I have Australia? Yeah, he also breaks out of prison movie. And then, for some reason, he's not seeing 3. Don't know why he's not in 3. He does return for 4, where he's at a different prison this time, where his nephew breaks him out. And fun fact, his nephew later played Lex Luthor in the Supergirl series. Which, of course, I've seen him just special. I heard he's really good. It is weird, though, the fact that he got a chance to portray Lex Luthor in this one. Let me find him here. What's his name here? Okay, the guy's name is John Cryer, the one who played him on Supergirl. I believe he was in Super. Yeah, he was basically Lane Luthor. Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting, the fact he had a chance to play him. I really enjoyed that version. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Mostly plays his purpose to create Nuclear Man. He kind of gets back his he kind of has his own building now, but it's Quest of Peace is not the good movie at all. Unlike the first two, which were awesome. The fourth movie is not that good. And it's not Gene Hackman's fault. He's probably the best thing about the movie. Because portrayal of Lex is awesome. Yeah, him, Christopher Reeve, don't have a problem with them with their portrayal of the movie. It's a story. And they also think, there was some people who try to buy out the Daily Planet, and they try to lay people off. They just... Yeah, and also the fact that they really don't want anything with basic relationship between Lois and Superman in this movie for some reason. But that's Gene Hackman. He only played him 3 times. Then they had this version later pop up in Superman Returns, this time played by Kevin Spacey, which was the 3rd live-action film actor to play Lex. And he was goofy as all heck. Yes. And the nickname for Superman Returns is Superman Lifting Stuff. Because that's literally all he does. He just lifts stuff, and it's not Brandon Routh's fault for this movie. It's not his fault with the faults movie. And keep this movie is directed by Bryan Singer, the guy who directed X-Men. Yes. Now, do I think Kevin Spacey is the worst portrayal of Lex? Not really, because he actually does play up to the character. His whole thing is he marries an old lady and kind of schemes, so basically her own children, basically, like, her money, just so he can buy back his own company, which is something he didn't have in the original movies. Despite the movie was supposed to be set after 2, because the movie ignores 3 and 4, because even the movie standard, even the movie agrees 3 and 4 were awful. Yeah. Then you had Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. Oh boy! I remember when he first casted as Lex Luthor. Like, the argument against him was that, well, the fact he's one had hair. That's why back in the comic which had hair. That was a little bit of argument. The fact that he was too young, and also the fact, did Lex Luthor in this universe create Facebook? Because he was just in basically the movie about Facebook, social network. The fact also that everyone thought he was playing the Riddler, despite the fact he was Lex Luthor, and this something was really stupid. Like, I remember there was this argument by Bleeding Cool where, because his name is Alex Luthor Jr., that they thought his father was actually going to be somebody else. That he's going to be the real Lex Luthor and pops in the movie. They also had this weird other rumor. There was a couple of ones I heard around this person that Bleeding Cool came up with. Because people like Ben Affleck was Batman, so they claimed he was Deathstroke. And in the movie it was going to be Christian Bale be the real Batman. I'm like, that sounds stupid. Another one was a theory that Joker was Jason Todd because of 2 bullet holes, and so I think he's got more. The suit's got more bullet holes than that. Yeah, it was one of those stupid ones Billy Cook came up with. The fact that Jesse Eisenberg going to play him like twice. I mean, Batman, Superman, and Justice League, and that was it. Do I think he was terrible? Not really, no. It's just that I think he made miscast, but I don't think it was terrible acting to play him. And of course, we have the upcoming Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, which this is actually, fun fact, his second ever comic-based character he played, because he also played Beast from the reboot X-Men movies. Yep. But here's the thing, I've heard 0 complaints about his casting. I like Jesse Eisenberg. Okay, so then we have also the TV show versions of the character. The Superboy one, not going to discuss this one because I've never seen Superboy, the TV show. Nope, never seen it. Yeah, it's basically like, the concept is basically like, just Superman as a teenager. It lasts a few years, and I personally never saw it, per se. I've seen some clips. He was played by 2 different actors in the show. First by Scott James Wells and Sherman Howard. I'm not all that familiar with these 2 actors, and I don't have an opinion on this front. Not really. I have seen the one from Lois and Clark and Adventure Superman, where he's played by John Shea, which he's basically like kind of like a recurring character. Like, he was like a main character in season 1, and then he actually is a bad guy, so he had basically just fall off a building at the end of season 1, and then became a recurring character afterwards. Like, was the actor like just written out of the show for some reason? It was really weird, because he was Lex the whole time, and then he like at one point because he was because he fell in a coma. Actually, when he was frozen, this is really weird. Like, he got frozen, and then for some strange reason, this apparently caused him to lose all of his frickin' hair. You're like, what? He didn't do much afterwards. He appeared a little bit after that. He didn't appear a lot in the show. Excuse me. Next one, of course, after that one was the third live-action TV actor for Lex was Michael Rosenblum from Smallville. Which, I like this version of the character. Yes, my dad liked this version too. We actually watched Smallville, mostly put from season 2 onwards. I didn't watch season 1 until later. I did watch basically the whole season, the whole thing start. I did watch basically the first season. It took a while to basically find the episodes because I watched them in repeats. But Smallville's episode I really enjoyed. And Michael Rosenblum, he basically did a really good job playing Lex. I never had any complaints about him playing Lex. Not really. I listen to him now when he's on the Talk podcast, and he talks basically that. Well, by the way, in podcasts, he's got a full head of hair now because, well, one of the reasons why he left the show was because he apparently developed back problems from walking around constantly in dress shoes for 7 years. But he probably had other reasons. They may get to it. So, yeah, he was a good character. I just one I really did enjoy. The fourth one was John Cryer. I've only seen him just in the Crisis Universe crossover. I didn't see his debut on Supergirl, but I do gotta agree he did a really good job playing Lex. There was one appearance in Titans, played by Payne Navik and Thomas Weaver. I've never seen this one. There's Superman Lois. My dad seen this one. He actually liked the show. Played by Michael Collins. Yeah, I'm not sure why they decided to change his actor for, but they did. By the way, the whole thing in Supergirl was like, oh, they couldn't touch him because of this weird embargo. Like, we couldn't have two versions of the same character at the same time. And yet, when they had Superman Season 1, like, oh, he's off screen, he's been possessed. At one point, he had camera via showing his boot. I'm like, and Supergirl's barely one possible because they haven't acted yet at this moment. Eventually, Season 2, they did. Because I think it was the head of CW basically had this really weird statement why I couldn't have, like, two different actors portray the character at the same time. Because his reasoning, because people get confused. And a lot of people have probably pointed out to this president, that we're not that stupid. They're two completely different actors. And eventually they allowed John Cryer to play the character anyways. But that's... I think that's pretty much... Now, the one from Titans and Superman Lois, I have actually not seen these ones yet. So, I do not have an opinion on them. Yeah. Also, the Smallville version of Lex, this is loosely based upon the Silver Age version of Lex from Superboy. I say loosely, but not completely. So, when it comes to live-action actors to play Lex, who do I think is the best ones? In my honest opinion. Gene Hackman, Michael Rosenblum, and John Cryer. These three I felt were the best ones. Michael Shea did a pretty decent job. I probably put him as, like, I would say I would put, it's like, number one, I put Gene Hackman. Number two is Michael Rosenblum because I'm sure Rosenblum probably would agree he's not as good as Gene Hackman. I would say number three is John Cryer. I say four is John Shea. Yeah. I'd say so. Yes. For Nicholas Hoult, don't have an opinion on it yet because his Superman's not released yet. The new Superman movie, which I heard it was called Superman Legacy. This film is set to be released in July, which is going to be interesting to say the least. It's going to be interesting. I know that the Zack Snyder era for DC Universe movies get a lot of criticism. There's people who actually are very toxic people who really want the Snyderverse restored so badly because it was so much on the table. Now, what happened in those movies was not Zack Snyder's fault. I want to hear with this one. It is not his fault. It is Warner Bros.' fault what happened in those movies. The fact that it's all these movies and half of them come out. Movies like Green Lantern Corps, Cyborg. Yeah. Heck, there's a movie to have released the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad because, according to David Ayer, he said there's claims that DC released the wrong version of the movie. The one released here was the wrong one. I don't know if it's true or not, and now apparently they're going to ignore. And also the fact that Henry Cavill got placed because they thought 39 was too old to play Superman. Now, he is not at fault with Superman, what happened with him. Nope, it is not his fault. I'm not blaming him for it. I blame basically the behind the scenes people for it. What him, Jesse Eisenberg? Do I think he's the worst Lex? Because some people think he's the worst Lex Luthor of all time. I'm like, no. I don't believe I'm not of the opinion that he's the worst Lex Luthor. The one I did not like very much was Kevin Spacey. No, nothing against him as an actor. It's just that I didn't think he fit the character. Eisenberg, despite being miscast, I think he was okay Lex Luthor. I don't think he was a terrible Lex Luthor. Yeah. But if you want to throw in anime ones, probably best one, Clancy Brown. Can't go wrong Clancy Brown. The guy was awesome as Lex. And I wonder how Michael Rosenbaum felt him playing Lex. Because I haven't heard that yet, but he was awesome as animated Lex. Yeah, he was awesome. I love his portrayals. Like, who do I think is like second best? Behind the awesome Clancy Brown, who played not only the Superman animated series, but also Justice League, Just Unlimited. He also played in Superman and Public Enemies. Excuse me. Interesting, though, they had Lex Luthor in the Batman Superman 2-parter from the Batman played by Clancy, which is awesome. Anyone would agree he is the best version of the character for voiceover. Yes, I do agree with anybody basically would agree with that. Yes. Who do I think is second best? I would say it's maybe Chris North from Justice League Crisis Tours. He didn't appear in many movies. How about James Master's version of the character? Well, the guy with Buffy. I think he did a decent job. I would say he is the third best animated Lex Luthor. Yes. Yeah, I have not seen the other ones yet, but we'll probably soon. I'm going to hear because it's getting kind of late right now. Okay, so that's pretty much the particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do this like button. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow for my review for Head Into the World. As for everything I'll review tomorrow, who knows, okay? Thanks for you. Bye.